Hey there YouTube, Chaos Cuber here. Today I have an unboxing from Cube Depot and I'm very excited for this one. I'll go to the other angle here in just a second, but there's the box. As you can see, there are quite a few cubes in here and these are mostly vintage puzzles. Also, just want to shout out Cube Depot very quickly here because they got these to me in record time as far as like cube deliveries go. I think I ordered these exactly 3 days ago. And here they are. They showed up. They shipped the same day I ordered them. And they showed up right today. So that's just super crazy. From a company, the fastest cube company I've ever ordered from. Shout out to Cube Depot. Let's get right into this giant unboxing of some really interesting vintage cubes. Okay, well I definitely still don't have a set in stone perfect formula for these reviews. But I think I'm just going to put this box in frame and get started cutting into it here. See if I can grab a knife here quickly. I'm not sure the best way to cut this box. I wonder if there's a pull tab on it. I'm pretty sure you just cut right at the seal here. It's not really taped. It's more of one of these sealed boxes. But like I said, these are a bunch of different vintage puzzles from Cube Depot. I actually checked their site just on a whim or just randomly the other day there, and I noticed how many vintage puzzles they had. I'm actually really looking to get some vintage puzzles here, and this is probably going to be one of my biggest unboxings of the type here. Let's just quickly dump these out of the box, and hopefully I won't knock any off the table. There should be a lot of really interesting puzzles in here. Oops, one fell off the table there, and as you can see, it is a positively massive box of different cubes. And let's get right into this unboxing here. Like I said, most of these are vintage puzzles. I don't remember exactly what I got here, so let's get right into these. These should be pretty exciting. Let's just start out with this cube right here, and wow, first impressions. Let me get my other camera focused there. This is a gas-assisted cube for you cube. This is a cube I've been waiting for a long time. Man, I picked up this box and I'm like, what is in there? It's got to be like a metal cube or even heavier than that. It is super heavy, and that's exactly what I've heard with these gas-assisted cubes. Basically, this is almost like a solid 3x3, and this was released sometime, I don't know, quite a few years back by CubeView, and this is basically a 3x3 that looks like any other, but it weighs like 4 or 5 times as much. Wow, the turning on that is amazing. Quickly put that to microphone so you can hear the turning. My microphone's situated where you really can't hear the turning, where it is right here. Or at least very minorly, but wow, the initial turns on that, it definitely seems to be lacking corner cutting. Maybe it's just the heavy weight, and there goes the center cap there. This cube is so solid, it just feels, wow, that is amazing. And there goes that center cap again. I'm going to have to glue that in there. Okay, well this is actually a cube I've been wanting for a long time, and I'm going to show you why right here. First up, if I get a close-up on that mechanism there, as you can see, you don't see any air holes or anything else in here. Let me show you a couple pieces. Here are a couple pieces from that cube right there, and as you can see, you really can't tell on the camera, but this is a solid block of plastic. It actually has plugs right here and right here, and these are actually made by gas-assisted molding or something like that. I'll put it up on the screen. I don't know the exact scientific terms. I just know that this is made with a technique that allows you to have a solid plastic, or at least nearly solid. I mean, just a lot heavier 3x3 than standard. There are no holes, no, I don't know what you call it exactly, no like weight savings, weight reduction in this cube. This thing is super solid and super heavy. And all in all, just a very cool cube for the collection. I've been looking quite a few places for these, and they really are hard to come by, especially in black plastic. So I was really shocked to see that Cube Depot actually had a couple of these in stock. I don't think they have them anymore. I actually mentioned on my Instagram that I had bought these, and I'm pretty sure they all sold out. And there goes the center cap again. But anyway, wow, this puzzle lives up to my expectations and more. I'm so thrilled to have one of these. I've been wanting one of these gas-assisted 3x3 since I knew they existed about a year ago. Okay, I have to go put those center caps back in here a little bit later. But anyway, I guess this is going to be some of the same here. I have one other gas-assisted cube here. I got one also in white, which I thought would be really cool to complete the collection. So let's quickly dig into this box here and let's take a look at the other one. I'm assuming it's going to be exactly like that last one there, as you can see, with black stickers instead of that, and it's in white plastic. And this one's actually a little bit looser. So let's test corner cutting on this one here real quick. Corner cutting, I feel like it's going to pop if I corner cut any more than that. But corner cutting is just past line to line. That's pretty impressive for a cube. That vintage is super solid in corner cutting. Reverse cutting, not much. Tensions right now, very, very loose on that one side, as you can see. I'm actually kind of worried it's going to pop. And let's just try like a checkerboard there quickly. This thing is very, very solid, exactly like the other one there. Try like a algorithm here, just a Y perm. That's pretty slow and a bit catchy. But all in all, very, very cool cubes. Not necessarily for speed solving, but for the collection. These are hard to find and very, very neat. I'm super excited, and that's why I've made this order from Cube Depot in the first place. After looking at those cubes, after figuring out they had those cubes, I found even more cubes on the site here. So let's just get into these one by one. First up here, we have a bunch of different Ghost Hand cubes within these here. As you can see, this is a Ghost Hand Speed Magic Cube. Let's quickly open it from the bottom here and get right into it. After feeling those other ones there, they're super heavy. This one feels very light. And actually, you know what? This is a Ghost Hand Fisher Cube. That is super, super cool. I don't know how many different cubes like this Ghost Hand actually made, how many different non-WCA puzzles, but this is obviously one of them. This is the Ghost Hand Fisher Cube. Let me quickly check the mechanism that's in here. And there you go. It actually has, let me zoom in here again, it actually has the standard Ghost Hand mechanism, as you can see right there. It might be the version 1 or a little bit of a modified version 2, but it definitely is a distinctly Ghost Hand mechanism. It's basically just a modified Rubik's mechanism, but it has some slight changes to the dimensions and profiles, which make it very distinctly Ghost Hand. Ghost Hand was a big cube brand back early in the cubing days, and it's really cool to have some puzzles by them because they are very uncommon. And as you can see, a big trend with these vintage cubes is that you better have super glue on hand, because look at that, the caps just keep popping everywhere. Also, one interesting quirk with this cube, it has orange on top and red on bottom instead of white and yellow. So that's kind of interesting. The rest of the color scheme, is it correct here? Yes, the rest of the color scheme is correct, but it's just flipped a little bit. So that's really interesting. That is a Ghost Hand Fisher Cube. Very uncommon one as far as I know. Let's get into some more Ghost Hand puzzles here. I see another one over here. This is a Ghost Hand 3x3 in gray. If we get to focus there, this is a Ghost Hand 3x3 in gray. Let's just quickly go through one of the packages for one of these Ghost Hand cubes. As you can see, it has some interesting little like emoji type things here at the bottom, and mostly in Chinese. I mean, you really can't read much of this here. Let's see if there's any English on the box. Just go through here. If you see right here, the only word in English on this side of the box is pop. So apparently this cube is going to pop. That's all I can get from this. Okay, so other than that, other than the 0 to 3 year warning and all the normal stuff there, let's just get into this box. Probably gotta open it from the bottom here so I can preserve the box. I'm assuming this is going to have the same exact mechanism and same exact feel as the other Ghost Hand version 2 speed cubes. Also, it has the original little pamphlet there, which is really, really neat. As you can see, it's also all in Chinese. And here is the cube. It's actually more of a bluish gray than I expected, which is really, really neat. And the turning on that is very, very Ghost Hand. Actually very good. I don't know. Their tensions tend to be a little bit inconsistent. And they tend to have kind of a, I don't know, catchy by design. But all in all, they were very good cubes back in their day. And this one is pretty cool in the gray colorway there. Just quickly take a look at one of the pieces there. As you can see, it has all the tracks and the standard Ghost Hand mechanism. Okay, let's get on to the next one here. Let's see, what should I go for next? Is this another Ghost Hand? Let's find another Ghost Hand if there is one here. And if not, let's move on to some other ones here. I do have some F-types. I have some Alpha Cubes. I have all kinds of... Oh, cool. This one here. Oh, man, I'm speechless after seeing this here. This is one that I saw, I think, in J.R. Cuber's video. This is a Sheng-En box. Look at that. I don't think it shows up well in my video. But there is the holographic Sheng-En box. That is super, super cool. As you can see, it shows Sheng-En there, and if you turn it a little bit, still haven't mastered this, or is it twist? Yeah, twisting seems to work because that one looks clearer. If I twist it like that, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, it's a holographic box on a 3x3. That is so cool. Okay, Sheng-En right there. Let's get the plastic wrap off of here. I am going to open these cubes. It would probably be a better idea for collector's value to keep them sealed and all that. But for YouTube, for you guys, I want to open each one of these puzzles, and I want to actually use these a little bit to kind of get a feel for what cubing was like back in the day and try to portray that, purvey that to you. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing a comparison video between a lot of different historical 3x3s in the future here. As you can see, there's a better look at that holographic box. I'm pretty sure I already looked at that too much. So let's get right into here. As you can see on the bottom, it has this little website address, http://sheng-en.cn. And oh man, there is a lot of English on this box right here. You can pause that and read that if you want. I'm assuming it's English. Who knows? I'll put it on the screen if it is or not after I read it. But anyway, let's just get into this puzzle without further ado, which I know somebody mentioned on my video that I say that a lot, but that does not matter. Without further ado, let's get right into this box. The cube seems firmly seated in there. I'll push through the window a little bit. I believe this is in white plastic. White plastic is definitely the most common way to find vintage cubes because the black plastic one sold out a lot quicker. But nonetheless, I'm very excited to have a Sheng-En. I've never had a Sheng-En before, and there you go, as you can see the logo. White plastic, white on that side there, and the turning, actually very, very interesting. Man, that actually reminds me of some more modern speed cubes, just kind of in the crunchy feeling, rather than kind of like the Rubik's brand, or very smooth or very fast feeling of a lot of other cubes. As you can see, that's what causes the crunch right there. It is very, very hollow on the inside. It's a very hollow mechanism. But also, as expected, is a modified Rubik's mechanism, and it definitely is outdated by today's standards. Let's check corner cutting quickly here. Corner cutting, with better tensions, I'm sure it'd be better, but it's about line to line right now. And reverse, a little bit of reverse actually. Well, that's actually pretty impressive. I thought the Guhong was the first with reverse, but this one actually has some tensions. This is on very tight tensions, but I'm assuming that's about what we need to have these puzzles to have them function correctly. I'm going to zoom out my camera here in a minute. It still is on the telephoto end. Let's just do a quick algorithm here, and I guess that's about it. That is the Sheng-En 3x3. Very, very cool. Excited to have that for my collection. Been wanting one of those for a while. Okay, so what should we get into next? That was very exciting, and sorry if I dwell on these a little bit too long. I am just very excited for all these different puzzles here. These are hard to find puzzles and just really interesting in general. Next up here, we have a GAN 3. This is a 55mm first model GAN, and actually it says GAN 3 V2. So maybe I have a GAN 3 standard coming in a different box. I think it's from Z-Cube instead of here, but this is a GAN 3 V2 instead, which, I mean, that's still really cool. It's an early GAN puzzle. I have not had any early GAN puzzles yet. As you can see, it shows the octopus core design, GAN puzzle, and just kind of shows off all that stuff there. Big old pamphlet. And there is your white GAN cube, super, super light, first off, in some plastic wrap. So I'm assuming this is the second version of the GAN 3, but it also seems to be the 55mm, the smaller size. So I'm not sure exactly. Somebody can tell me in the comments if they know more about this. And wow, no wonder GAN was so highly regarded when it first came out. This is a really, really, really good puzzle out of the box. I mean, it doesn't compete in any way with modern speed cubes, but just the feeling of it, standard here. Let's see if I can find a fairly loose side so I can pull out a piece. That mechanism there is very, very cool and very unique from what else they had on the market at the time. Also, the original GAN sticker is really cool. So, it doesn't matter that it's in white. I'm very excited to have this cube, and it's definitely a very good addition to my collection. I believe this is a GAN 3 version 2, and I also think it's a little bit undersized. Let me try and get this piece back in here. It does have the torpedo, so it's kind of hard to get back in there, and also the tensions seem pretty tight. They also made these in stickerless, which would be really nice to get one of those. I have not yet, but as you can see, this is it. Let's quickly check the internals there. As you can see, it has the standard tensioning nuts, as they did on the first generation octopus cores. And I was going to check the size compared to the normal one here. Okay, so it's probably a 56mm cube. I don't think it's 57, but it's probably 56. I remember the original ones were 55 or 55.5. And I actually think I have one of those coming, so stay tuned for that. But this is it, and wow, it's not really unstable or anything even. It's actually pretty stable. It's about the same. It has the same feel. Well, not the same feel, but I mean, it has the same lightness and kind of, I don't know, just swooshiness of maybe like a GAN Air Ultimate. That's kind of a weird comparison, but just the lightweight feeling and plastic feeling feels about like that. Okay, well, I know I'm spending too much time on each of these, but this is really cool unboxing for me, so I just kind of want to go through here. This is an Alpha High-Ans cube. That's a really oddball one there. Professional speed cube on that side. It also has some interesting stuff on there. There is High-End, I'd assume. Yeah, High-Ans cube. I assume that's what it is. And as you can see, there it is. Let's get into this box and see exactly what we have here. The box is not in shrink like some of these other ones were, but I'm assuming that's just how it came. This is also a white cube. Like I said, the black ones are hard to find. And there it is with the original Alpha Cube logo. And wow, that has a really strange feeling to it off the bat. Feels very alpha-esque. I have had alpha cubes in the past. I sold them, unfortunately. And there it is, a very airy design, as you can see, but it is a modified Rubik's mechanism, and actually that is a highly modified one. Wow, that is very, very weird. Very strange and interesting there. Man, with these vintage cubes here, this whole floor is becoming kind of a parts graveyard just because of the nature of these puzzles and just how they kind of work. But anyway, let's try to get this piece back in there, and let's just quickly check these center pieces here, if I can actually get a center off. Okay, well, I'm assuming you need to get a knife in there or something. It seems to be a funky design where it's kind of like recessed in there. But anyway, let's just quickly check corner cutting here. Corner cutting is not fantastic. It's about there, out of the box. The tensions are very tight. Well, not very tight. Yeah, I mean, the tensions are reasonable. But on this side here, where the tensions are the loosest, it'll cut like just past line to line. And reverse cutting, about no reverse cutting. So that's it. I also think it's a little bit smaller than standard 3x3. And yes, that seems to be at least a 56 millimeter, if not 55.5. That is an alpha high-end cube. Okay, next up here, this is another alpha cube. As you can see, it comes in a very basic packaging here. Let's see if I can read anything on there. Guogia3.com. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. But that is the brand that made these. I think this is a mini alpha right off the bat. And wow, the turning on that is super sandy. It has a really cool sound to it. I'll probably make a sound sample video on some different speed cubes here coming up. Probably in my my vintage cube comparison video. So stay tuned for that if you want to hear the different sounds of these cubes close up. But I'm pretty sure this is a mini alpha. As you can see, it's a little bit smaller there, even than the 56 or 55.5 millimeter other one there. And the turning on it is very unique. The inside pieces here look very similar to the other one there. I mean, a little bit of variance, but still the very airy look that Alpha Cubes tended to have. And wow, Alpha Cubes basically was the company that owned GAN, I believe. I don't know the exact history on it. I just know they're the ones who, maybe it was the founder of Alpha, also founded GAN, or maybe a co-founder of Alpha when founded GAN. I don't remember the exact history. But there it is, an Alpha Mini, very cool cube. Next up here, let's get into this cube right here, which I'm not sure what it is. It's another Alpha Cube. That's what I assumed. And now looking at it here, it definitely is. Some very cool diagrams on the box. Some very interesting things here. You can pause and hopefully read that if you want to. But without further ado, let's get right into it here. It seems like I'm going to be able to go in through the top. If my talking is going a little bit crazy here, it's because I'm very excited about all these cubes. They're very, very, very cool. Okay, there's an instruction manual for this here. It seems to be a little bit newer one, and here it is. This is an Alpha Cube of some sort. I'll put the exact type up on the screen there. And also, it looks like the center caps are recessed, and wow, the turning on this one here is so much different than any of those other Alpha Cubes I've unboxed so far. It's very solid compared to those. About twice as heavy and very, very solid. So I'm assuming this is actually an Alpha 1 or an Alpha 2 or at least an earlier version of the Alpha Cube, because as you can see, it uses a standard modified Rubik's mechanism, not the very airy one found in later Alpha Cubes. So that's very, very cool in white plastic with the Alpha logo right there. Corner cutting, actually pretty good. Wow, actually amazing. Almost 45 degrees. Also a little bit of sticker peeling up there. That's not a big deal. And there's a pop, but almost 45 degree corner cutting on a Rubik's type mechanism. That shows you the coolness of these old cubes and really how far they came in cube technology. Also, a little bit of reverse corner cutting even. Wow, that's actually surprising. Okay, I won't do any more than just a little bit, but there it is. The Alpha Standard 3x3. I'll put the exact type up on the screen there. As you can see, I have another one here. I'm assuming this is a different type than the last one, so let's get into this one also. Also in white plastic. It'd be nice to get these in black, but you really can't. So there is the manual for that. And here's a cube. You can tell immediately from the center caps, this is definitely a different one, maybe a 3F or something similar, and it has that very airy, light Alpha feel. It's already popping everywhere, and I can see in the internal pieces, it has another Alpha-esque design. It's actually a little bit different one than the later ones, but very, very similar. Just a super, super, I don't know, what do you call it, bare bones Rubik's type mechanism. But I don't know, it's just a lot faster. It makes for a lighter turning puzzle, but it really is not good for inaccurate turners, anything like that. If we look at the tensions here, these are on very loose tensions, at least for these cubes, and it will corner cut about 45 degrees very, very carefully. Otherwise, you're going to pop it. But it will corner cut 45 degrees almost. And then for reverse cutting, pretty much no reverse cutting. I mean, it'll cut just the smallest little bit reverse. Okay, well, whatever model Alpha Cube is, there is another white Alpha Cube. I'm turning it kind of carefully here because it did pop so easily. Okay, next up here we have another Alpha Cube. I don't know what all types these are, but I will put them up on the screen. It says on the top here, 3F. And let me check the other boxes here. 3F on that one there, so maybe I got two 3Fs. And this one says 1 or 2, I can't tell exactly. So those are the different versions of them here. This is really cool actually. You open your top flap here and you're presented with a little picture of a cube and a little website address. Wow, the box and packaging on these is very, very good. And there goes the manual falling off to the side. Assuming this is the same as the last one I just checked right there. Definitely a little bit tighter than that one, but it's also just as poppy. As you can see though, the mechanism is exactly the same. A very interesting, airy mechanism, as was common with these Alpha puzzles. All for collection, but at one point, these were very famous and very good speed cubes on the market. Okay, well I think that's about it for the Alpha cubes. There are a few more puzzles here. Let's quickly get into those. First off, anybody have any idea what that is? I really hoped I was going to get the box with it, but this is almost good enough, or this is good enough. Let me zoom in on that. Unfortunately, it's not the old logo. This is an Edison cube. That is very exciting. No stores have these in stock, except for Cube Depot, and they only had a few left in stock in weird colors. So, I'm pretty sure I only picked up one here. But nonetheless, this is an Edison cube, and I've been very excited to get one of these, or at least just to try to find one. And it'll be really cool to see exactly how well these work. I actually have an Edison 2x2 coming, or at least a Noble brand 2x2, which actually predated Edison by quite a few years. So let's get into the first turns here. It's very, very dry and definitely needs some work straight out of the box, but it does actually feel. It feels pretty stable and pretty smooth. It's not like a Rubik's brand where it's really, really, really stiff. It's just a bit stiff, and also the color scheme is correct. It has some really interesting shades here, probably just because of the yellow clash there. And if I pop that open there, it seems a bit thicker actually than standard on a Rubik's brand here, but it is just a standard Rubik's brand mechanism. Okay, well that's really cool. That is an Edison brand cube. Those are very, very interesting. Hard to find, and wow, this cube stand here is pretty cool, but it is very, very cheaply made. Very, very cheap plastic. Okay, well that's cool. Very hard to find. There is an Edison cube. I still want to find one with the original logo and possibly in black or white plastic. But this is going to have to do corner cutting, about none on these tensions. On very, very tight tensions straight out of the box. And I don't know what else did I check. I guess tensions. And that's about it. On to the next one. Okay, so I'll switch out the battery in my other camera there when I get a chance, but I have not done that yet, and it just ran out of battery. I do have another battery though, so it shouldn't be a big deal. When I do the outro, I'll switch to it and it'll be fine. This is the only modern cube in here, but should I say it's a modern cube? I don't think I should, because this is a Dayan Zhanchi 2017. I've been wanting to try one of these for a while. It is the big flop that Dayan came up with here just last year. And basically, it's a squared off corners new version of the Dayan Zhanchi. From what I've heard, it's pretty bad, but let's try it out. And wow, that feels a lot better, first of all. Well, no, it feels super, super unstable. Wow, that is really, really just kind of weird feeling, because it's actually on really tight tensions. See, look at that. It's on super tight tensions, yet it just feels completely floppy and unstable. Wow, that is a really weird feel. Okay. Definitely nothing like the original Zhanchi or anything related to that. I don't get how they even came up with the name based off of that. It'd be nice if I get a piece out, but I don't think I'm going to be able to here just because of the tight tensions. But anyway, this is the Zhanchi 2017. This was made by Dayan last year, and it was a flop as far as I know. It really had mixed reviews, but I think most people thought it was really, really bad. As you can see out of the box here, on these extremely tight tensions, it actually seems to turn very fast. And actually will corner cut 45 degrees on really, really tight tensions. So that's kind of impressive in a way. Also corner cut, reverse cut, line to line. But just the overall feeling here is like some sort of sponge. I mean, it just feels like, it's the most unstable cube I've ever felt, pretty much. So I don't know. I think it is usable, but it really, I don't know. It has a really weird feel to it, which I think is what most people were saying about it. that is the Dayan Zhanchi 2017. I bought it just for the collection, and there we go. It is exactly what I thought it was going to be. Okay, next up here, I think we have 2 more puzzles, so let's get right into those. Actually, 3 more puzzles. This is an MF8 Legend, which if we look at the box here, doesn't say much on there. It just says MF8 3x3 puzzle cube. Let's quickly get into the box though and see what we have here. I'm curious to see if this is a Legend V1 or V2. I actually got a V1 the other day, and it's pretty good. I'm actually very impressed by that. So let's see if this is the V1 or the V2. First off, I'm going to say this is probably the V2. Just looking at those pieces there. Look at that piece design there. If anybody knows normal piece design, that's a very odd piece design. Okay, so I think I was talking about the piece design there. I had to swap up memory cards here quickly. But I guess first impressions out of the box, this thing is really, I don't know. I remember that it's really not tensionable. Is that exactly what it is? The ball core has some interesting things to it. My one I had a long time ago was very, very loose and very fast, but it really had no corner cutting or anything else. This one actually does seem to cut corners a little bit, so that's interesting. But also, it seems to be of a bit smaller size if we compare it to a normal size cube right here. Yeah, definitely a 56 millimeter or just a little bit smaller than that. And as you can see, this is a white one with black stickers there on the one side. It definitely needs some lube out of the box. It's very under-lubed. As you can see, it's kind of catching. It's just very, very, very under-lubed feeling. So with some lube, this thing will definitely speed up quite a bit. And as far as I know, with the ball core design and everything else, this was meant to be a very, very fast cube, but with very little corner cutting or anything else there. Actually, look at there, it does actually have screws. So I'm going to have to look into this a little bit more. I just know I had one of these a while ago, and I thought that's what it was. Anyway, very, very funky design there with the giant, I don't know what you call it there, the corner pieces. And then, obviously, the edge piece also has a really funky design on it. Just par for the course with the MF8 Legend 2, I believe is what this one is. So, very cool. And it's good to have one of these again. Okay, next up here, I'll save that one for last. We have another CubeView cube, and this one is really interesting. This is the CubeView tiled cube, and I'm really excited for this one just because the CubeView tiles are kind of hard to find, and having a cube pre-applied with those tiles is kind of neat. So let's try and get this out of the box. Also, I forgot to show here, we have the manual for the Edison cube. Very cool, just in paper there, and it's in Korean. The Edison cube was a Korean cube, I forgot to mention that. Most cubes are made in China, some are made a couple other places. The Edison cube was made in Korea, which is why it's difficult to find. Okay, so first impressions on the CubeView tiled 3x3. These tiles feel very soft. They feel very much like, I don't know, I won't even say Rubik's 2.0 tiles because it's not quite like that, but it's sort of in that same vein. It's kind of crossed between the Rubik's 2.0 tiles and the Rubik's Speed Cube tiles, like the new Speed Cube, the GAN collaboration. Out of the box, it's extremely tight and very badly lubed, if at all. So with some lubing and tensioning, this will get a lot better. But first impressions, these feel exactly like stickers. I mean, I'm very impressed with how these tiles feel. They feel very, very good. As you can see there, CubeView logo on that side there, and I also was able to get this in black. So that's a really cool cube. That is the CubeView tiled 3x3. Okay, last but not least here, and actually I do have one more bonus thing after this one here, but this is actually a Ghost Hand Magic. I have never had a Magic before, and this is one right here. As you can see, it says Magic Board on there, and it's a Ghost Hand. So let's quickly cut into this and try it out. I actually do not know how to solve magic at all. Never had one before. And it'll be interesting to learn how to do it. It's obviously a one solution puzzle, kind of like a Rubik's Snake or something similar. So it's nothing too crazy. But let's see if I can carefully open this box. So far it's proving to be kind of difficult to get into here without messing anything up. So let's be very careful and try to wiggle this out of here. There we go. Got it. Okay. Careful wiggling, and here it is. Let's just pull this out here. Whoa, okay, so this is a master. It's a master magic. Okay, never mind. It's not the Ghost Hand standard magic. I have one of those coming also. This is a master magic, and first of all, the feel on this thing is really weird. Man, I am not used to magic at all, and also I gotta be very careful so I don't break a string, because I've heard that's an issue with these. As you can see, though, this is the Ghost Hand Master Magic. More of a collection than anything else. I might learn to solve it, but I've never had one of these before, and all in all, is very, very interesting. Okay, well, like I said, there is a bonus unboxing, so let's quickly get that. I have to fold this thing up carefully first. Another one of my cubes from China came in the mail today. I have no idea which one this is, but let's open it up and see exactly. First of all, this mailer feels very, very low quality. It's a very cheap mailer, and let's see what exactly is in here. Well, well, well. That's interesting. Okay, well, here's something interesting. I'm going to show you the picture that was on this listing, and then I'll show you this cube here. This is definitely not what was pictured. It's kind of par for the course on eBay, but I was kind of sketched out. I was curious exactly what cube this is. In the picture, they showed a Moyu logo cube, and it was $2.30. And I was like, what kind of Moyu cube can you get for $2.30? Definitely not a YJ logo. It was definitely the Moyu little emblem on there, but that's all they showed you. They said it was just a Moyu cube. And this is about what I should have expected. Actually, this one turns a lot better than most Guanlongs I've had. I think they improved their tensioning straight out of the box out of these. Obviously not a lot of corner cutting, but I guess I do have a white Guanlong. I'm definitely not going to return this, but it's just interesting. It was kind of a roll the dice and see exactly what you get, because I paid $2.30 on eBay. And I guess I ended up with a white Guanlong, which I actually didn't have yet, and also the new Guanlong box, which I'm not going to keep. But it actually is higher quality by quite a large margin than the old Guanlong box, if that is actually a thing. If I remember correctly, there was an old Guanlong box. Okay. Well, I guess that's about it. Okay, well, it actually took me a minute to find that battery there. This area looks like absolute chaos with just how much stuff I have in here. I'm standing next to this tripod, a light and a microphone right there. I don't know if you call it breaking the fourth wall or whatever to show all that stuff, but I guess that's the behind the scenes on how this whole operation goes down. Anyway, that was the big, exciting unboxing from Cube Depot. I'm not sure how many people are actually interested in vintage cubes, but I definitely am. I'm trying to collect a whole bunch of different ones, and when I noticed they had both Alpha Cubes and Cube View, the gas-assisted ones, which those are cubes I've been looking for quite a long time, I was very excited. I had to place an order. I did order a bunch of different ones here. And just all in all, very hard to find cubes. I'm surprised they still have in stock at Cube Depot. But I guess I'm glad I found them. You can go check there and see if they have any left. I'm not sure if they do, how many of anything they have left. But if they do, that's what they have. Anyway, that's about it for this unboxing. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe below if you enjoyed. Check out my Instagram where I post photos and other things there. We're just about to hit 1,000 followers on there. But if you go check, it's already over that because this video is going to go up in about 4 days. That's about it. Kiss Cuber out. Goodbye.